Crab, armadillo and penguin. We need to choose only one, but which one? And should the players be the one to decide? Minecraft major updates are now far and few in between, so it's no surprise we see a lot of buzz around this time of year with Minecraft Live. As with previous years, Minecraft Live includes a mob vote. On the surface, the ask from the Minecraft player base is simple. We have 3 choices, pick one, and the developers will add the winner to the game. But how do we decide which mob we want implemented? The Minecraft marketing team have this covered, and we have teasers, shorts, web posts, news feeds within the game launcher, and cross-posting across most of the popular social media platforms, all regurgitating a short summary of what each mob has to offer. And if history repeats, what we've been teased is likely to be feature complete, so we really shouldn't speculate on additional things the mobs could or should do if implemented. Instead, I think Microsoft would prefer that we think all the mobs are equally cute and useful in their own way. But with Minecraft being so popular, and with so many different playstyles, should there be only one winner? Does the winning mob vote alienate certain types of players? Maybe. If you're the type of player that only likes to hang out in the savannah, and the armadillo happened to be the winning mob vote, maybe having a new mob that you don't really like and it spawns nearby could be annoying. And this is why last year's mob vote winner and its implementation was rather genius. The sniffer doesn't spawn naturally, rather the player needs to find a sniffer egg, then hatch it to bring sniffers into the world. No other mob has been implemented in this way before. For the players that don't like the mob, they don't need to search for the sniffer egg and hatch it. So for these players, the gameplay experience is neutral. And for the players that want the sniffers, they can have them. And this probably would have also been the case if the tough golem had won. But if the rascal had won, maybe things would have been different. Kind of like the wandering trader. They're okay when they turn up from time to time, but their random appearances can also be quite annoying. What we've learned about the crab, armadillo and penguin is that they will all spawn naturally. We don't get to choose to bring the mob into our world. This has been decided for us. The only thing we get to choose is which of the 3 mobs we want to see in our worlds. So we need to think more about their value proposition and how each may impact our preferred gameplay. The crab is particularly interesting with the extra block reach, and we already have a general sense of how useful this could be, as switching between survival and creative, or between Bedrock and Java, both currently have different block reaches. But we've excelled in our survival worlds without the extra reach just fine, and we've seen how something like scaffolding had the potential to be a game changer, but their connected block limits held them back from being overly practical. Crafting wolf armor from scutes dropped by armadillos sounds cool. We have something similar with turtle scutes that can be crafted into helmets, but the scute from armadillos isn't for us, it's for adding protection for our wolves. And is this something we want? I'm not sure. I find wolves often die by their own behaviour limitations, rather than having low health or lack of protection. We've all seen wolves die by full damage, burning in lava, or the awkward situation when they walk in front of your drawn bow or swinging sword. And if wolf armor was really a priority, I don't see why this shouldn't be added using leather instead. It gives further use to leather in the game, and it remains in parity with other protection options we have with horse armor. When it comes to penguins, faster boat travel is interesting, but I doubt it will add anything groundbreaking over our current travel options like swimming with Dolphin's Grace, having boots with a Depth Strider enchant, using rockets with an Elytra, or just using a boat on ice. So maybe all 3 mob choices isn't a must-have, but a nice to have, and you know what, that's okay. Crabs would likely have one of the more interesting movement animations in the game, and having the ability to climb up vertical blocks will be the first for a non-hostile mob. I'd really like to see more ambience in our savanna biomes, and having the armadillo roam these plains would go a great way towards this. It's okay if wolf armor plays more into the aesthetics rather than making fighting with wolves overpowered, and who wouldn't want to have little outfits, armor, for our tamed best friend? Penguins being another shoreline-based mob will make our coastlines more interesting, and I think they'll complement the turtles nicely as it bridges the gap further between our oceans and land-based biomes. My guess is the faster boat travel with penguins won't require us to get our feet wet, and I'm not saying I'm lazy, but having a dedicated co-pilot that gives my boat speed would be a nice bonus. There are many pros and cons we can think of with the mob choices. Could all 3 be added? Sure. Should all 3 be added? Sure. The choices this year seem realistically balanced and different enough to play into individual preferences. But once a winner is decided, we need to live with it. But that's easier said than done. The mob vote can feel like we're removing things from the game rather than adding to it. We're teased with something and then it's taken away. It may seem silly, but the quirky Minecraft teaser trailers can feel like a snapshot in the game. We're seeing something added, we get a sense of the mob's personality and behaviour, and we learn about what gameplay mechanic the mob would provide. Voting for one mob is voting for which 2 mobs and gameplay mechanics we don't want, and that makes the vote far more challenging. Do I care for the extra boat speed? Probably not. But this doesn't mean I don't want penguins added to the game. The winning mob vote is decided by the players and nothing else, and short of any hyper-influencing for the vote by large community representatives, the winning vote should represent what the vast majority of the player base wants to see. It's okay to have winners and losers given the current parameters of the mob vote, and just being a winner doesn't necessarily make it a good mob, or even the best mob, but it was the winner nonetheless. And as we have no way of really knowing how the winning mob vote will add to the game or our gameplay experience, we need to trust that the developers will do their best to make the mob great. If it adds ambience, I'm okay with that. If it adds new gameplay, I'm also okay with that. Not all mobs will be as iconic as the Creeper, or as annoying as the Phantom, so maybe we should be happy with something in between. I do wonder, could a player mob vote be done in a way that makes everyone happy? Having all 3 mobs added over time and we get to choose the order of them being added could be one way, and maybe this could add some extra fun with the minor game releases. Having a second chance vote is another way, where we could vote in a previous mob vote loser. But this all seems too easy, and if this was the direction Microsoft wanted to take us, I think they would have done it by now. As far as we know, the mob vote isn't directly linked to the theme of each major update, so maybe the mob choices should be vastly different. Why does the mob need to be cute? Or being more drastic, why do we need to choose between different mobs? The vote could equally be about one mob. Maybe we don't even need to know what the mob is at the time of the vote. Let us vote if the mob is big or small, hostile or peaceful, land or water based. The aggregation of these choices could be quite unique. We're all presented with the same information about the mob choices, so simply vote for the one you would personally like to see added to the game. If it's the winner, great. If not, maybe you'll grow to love it, or at least appreciate that there are others who are happy with the winner. The current way we're presented with the mob vote seems reasonable, and it does get the community involved. For those that are particularly attached to a losing mob vote, there are always modders that have been passionate to fill the void. We're typically presented with fan art, animations, and even mods to add the new mobs early into our game within hours of the mob choices being known. It's great that we have such an active community that care for this game, and hearing from those that are happy or unhappy can always add different perspectives and ideas for future changes. Even if we had hostile mobs as a vote, or a biome update as a vote, I'm sure we will still have contention over the winner. Maybe the players should stop putting the mob vote on a pedestal and just have a bit of fun with what we're presented with.